I will be doing my presentation on malaria. Why does this problem exist? Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by parasites that are transmitted to people through the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. How did this happen? People get malaria by being bitten by infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. The mosquitoes transmit the parasite through previous blood meals taken from an infected person. The malaria parasite can be found in red blood cells of an infected person and can also be transmitted through blood transmission, organ transplant, shared use of needles or syringes contaminated with blood, and from mother to unborn infant before or during delivery. Where did this happen? In 2015, 95 countries and territories had ongoing malaria transmissions. Sub-Saharan Africa carries a high share of the global malaria burden. In 2015, Sub-Saharan Africa was home to 88% of malaria cases and 90% of malaria deaths. What are the risks for the community in the future? In most cases, malaria deaths are related to cerebral malaria, breathing problems, organ failure, anemia, and low blood sugar. What are/were the etiological factors? The origin of the most deadly malaria parasite was traced to Africa around 300,000 years ago. The most vulnerable groups are young children who have not yet developed partial immunity to malaria, pregnant women whose immunity is decreased by pregnancy, and travelers or migrants coming from areas with little or no malaria transmission and who lack the immunity to fight malaria. How to solve the public health problem? The first strategy would be insecticide-treated mosquito nets. WHO recommends long-lasting insecticidal nets coverage for all people at risk for malaria, which can be provided free of charge to ensure equal access for all. People at risk should also sleep under the net every night and ensure that the net is properly maintained. The second strategy would be anti-malarial drugs. Travelers can take preventative treatment with chemoprophylaxis, which suppresses the blood stage of malaria infections, preventing the malaria disease. Pregnant women can take preventative treatment with sulfadioxine pyrimethamine at antenatal visits after the first trimester. And infants can take 3 doses of sulfadioxamine pyrimethamine and routine vaccines. Public health in the future. These are a few ways to prevent the reoccurrence of malaria, and this includes increased awareness about malaria and the preventative measures, and early attendance of antenatal care services. In my opinion, the prevention of malaria in the future should include increased funding for a vaccine and the use of mosquito nets and the mosquito repellents when visiting areas that are prone to malaria. And this is the works cited page.